as the NFL trade deadline approaches, you're going to get a lot of videos from not just me, but other content creators as well, dispelling or maybe trying to back certain rumors that they might believe in or feel have some validity to them. Now, my personal opinion is that a lot, not all of them, but a lot of the rumors that you hear they are valid. They have some type of validity. People talk about clickbait and all that stuff. But if you think about the NFL, it is literally meant people's job is to have leaked information to make things interesting. That's how it's supposed to be. Sometimes it's not right and sometimes it is. But there's somebody that has popped up recently. Now, I've heard this guy's name before. I've heard it before, but I didn't really think too much of it based on the asking price for this certain individual at the time. But now as the trade deadline approaches, more teams begin to have fire sales and the needs of our team, this guy started popping up on my radar. Shout out to Lions Syndicate, who put me up on this information. And I had to ask him a few things about the reality of this potential trade. So, by the thumbnail that I'm referring to wide receiver Jerry Jeudy. Now, this comes from Matt Lombardo, and it says, multiple league sources tells me they expect Broncos to trade Jerry Jeudy prior to the deadline, with one NFC executive saying they have already had internal discussions about a possible trade. And then he goes to link the FanBuzz account that talks about the potential trade of Jerry Jeudy. One of those teams is the Detroit Lions. Now, I feel that we're in the need for a wide receiver. A lot of you may not. Our offense is great. It really is. Even with St. Brown being out, we have Laporta. Our offense rose. Not even Jamison Williams is not a receiving factor. Jahmyr Gibbs has not really gotten going, right? But I keep going back to my general manager and what he said. And Dan Campbell, they're always looking to get better. Then when you look at the long term, we have Jamison Williams, St. Brown will be in the last year of his deal, Khalif Raymond, and Antoine Green are the only wide receivers under contract. That's 4. So if we carry 5 or 6, we need 2 more. Marvin Jones is going to be gone. Will they re-sign Josh Reynolds? At this point, I will say yes. If we carry 6, that leaves 1 more. 1 more wide receiver. Antoine Green, he is on our team, but he was a 7th round pick. Hasn't really shown much this year. He stays on the practice squad. Could we have add another wide receiver? Now, for the longest time, I've been saying Mike Evans, due to where the Bucs are, the expiring contract, and the fact that they can either let him walk or try to get something for him, why he would be huge as a trade asset. But now with Jerry Jeudy, I begin to wonder if this could be a possibility. Now, like I said, you're going to get a lot of trade stuff because good teams, they buy at the trade deadline to get better so that they can potentially go all the way. Now, I'm not talking about something to break the bank. And Jerry Jeudy won't do that. I keep making sure I don't say Jacobs. Jerry Jeudy will not do that. Let's take a look at his stats thus far for the season and in his career. Part of that 2020 draft class, which is looking quite miserable, but he was one of the ones that they picked up his 5th-year option, if I'm not mistaken. I believe they did. So for the season already, he is at 208 yards, 17 receptions, no touchdowns, averages 12.2 yards per reception. Look at his stats for his career. Drafted in 2020, played 16 games, 10, 15, and 14, has had at least 38 receptions on quite a few targets, and pretty solid in his career, especially the first year under Russell Wilson. Now, if you go back to these 2 years, I don't even remember who the quarterback of the Denver Broncos was in 2020 and 2021. They get a quarterback of some decency, it goes up, and if he keeps playing like he's playing this year so far, he will pass his career high of 972. Now, what could the Detroit Lions, he's only owed 2.6 this year and then 12 million next year. Sounds like a Brad Holmes type of deal, right? We brought in DJ Chark in the 2022 NFL free agency. We gave him 10.5 guaranteed. 10.5 guaranteed to get 11 games out of DJ Chark and 508 yards is what we got. I think he had 3 touchdowns. Denver is trying to win, and they are having a fire sale. This year is lost. They're not going to be able to move on from Russell Wilson, so they might as well stick with the quarterback they have and try to get some trade assets for their team, right? So now what could be a trade package to get a guy like Jerry Jeudy? Let's find out. Let's take a look at the Detroit Lions trade capital so far for 2020 going into 2024. Right now we have picks 28, 60, 66, 92, 165, 206, and 249. The Denver Broncos, however, they have 382, 129. Look at these picks. 142, 152, 224, and 230. If you look at this, all but they have 7 picks, and all but 3 of them come from different teams. So what could the Detroit Lions do to get a guy like Jerry Jeudy? Well, Denver has no second round pick. We have a second round pick. We have a third round pick coming from TJ Hawkinson. If you notice from the graph there, we also have a third round pick at number 92. We don't have a fourth. And that's the only one we don't have. We have a first, a second, a third. I want to say the second year in a row, we don't have a fourth. What could we give for Jerry Jeudy? We could give the Denver Broncos, I'm just throwing this out here, pick number 60, which would be our second round pick. And I would give them the third round pick from the Minnesota Vikings. That essentially will be, if the Detroit Lions are picking late, you're talking about right now 60 and 66. And let's be real, the Minnesota Vikings are probably going to have a higher pick than that. And if they do, then that'll be even better for the Denver Broncos. Or what we could do is maybe give them, they don't have a second, so we could give them maybe a second this year, and we can give them a third maybe down the line in 2025. So these rumor trades, a lot of this stuff there is some steam to it. There really is. Whether it happens or not, that's different, but there is some steam to these rumors. Would you be willing for the Detroit Lions to trade for Jerry Jeudy at the trade deadline? That'll give us another receiver for at least a year and a half for a contract. His 5th-year option is already there. We would be on the hook. We're not going to trade him away, in my opinion. And don't forget now, we did trade for Trinity Benson. So I'm just saying, if you say no to Jerry Jeudy, then you got that whole Denver connection. I don't know. Trinity Benson is not even on our team. So maybe we do, maybe we don't. Maybe Brad Holm doesn't have the best track record with trading for wide receivers. So we'll see. But I want to know what you think. Do you think Jerry Jeudy will be traded from the Denver Broncos? And would you be willing for the Detroit Lions to trade for him? And part 3 is, what would you want the compensation to be if we did indeed trade for Jerry Jeudy? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget about the live stream watch party. We're getting really close, really close. And if you haven't seen it before, here is what it looked like when we were there. Check this out. I've been meaning to put this here for a while. This is what the live stream watch party looked out. This is courtesy of Uno's Pizzeria. We had about 35, 40 people there or so, and we had a fantastic time watching it on the big screen television that you should see coming up any minute now. The 158 television. Shout out to everybody that came through for the watch party. So make sure you guys check out that link in the description below. And I hope to see you on the 22nd as we face the Denver Broncos. This will be an away game, so you can't go down to Ford Field this time. All right, come hang out with us. We'll be having a good time. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.